Richard Malazinski, 402 Deer Path. I apologize to the town board for going back to this, but I'm going to talk about REMS also in the article in the paper. And I had an opportunity to read this, and when the contract was approved to accept REMS as the provider for the town of Rotterdam, it was many months ago. We had the vote on this to establish the ambulance district back in December, early December of 2010. And my comment on this is that I would like to agree with Ms. DeLeva's assessment and evaluation of, what REMS may or may not owe the town and what REMS should or shouldn't be possibly paying the town as for providing ALS service. And the reason that I say this is I did some research on the REMS website and found that over the last 3 years, they're averaging roughly 2,400 calls per year. So if you take 500 out of those 2,400, which is roughly 20%, it's about a fifth of the calls, and you assume those are ALS type calls, and if you assume, some billable amount for ALS services, and there isn't anything, I don't believe, that you can bill to an insurance company for less than $200. If you take 500 calls times $200 per call, lo and behold, you end up with $100,000. So $39,000 is way out of whack. I have absolutely no doubt whatsoever that their books show exactly that that's how much money that they collected. But in addition to the 2009 money that you are considering trying to recoup, there's also the 2010 fiscal year money and 7 months of 2011 that hasn't been forwarded to the town. So it's a lot more than just $39,000 that's at stake here. And given the fiscal situation that the town is in, it's the most important, critical, imperative thing in the residents' mind right now to get this REMS thing straightened out and get this ALS money flowing into the town. There's absolutely no excuse, no reason whatsoever to not have a contract in place many months ago and having been collecting this ALS money all along. Now, you say, well, REMS is surviving. Well, they're surviving because they're being subsidized by the ALS money. And I can tell you, as a resident of the town, the appearance is that the town is dragging their feet with this and allowing REMS to continue to keep and collect this ALS money, which indeed is keeping them in business. I don't really care about the outcome of this. If REMS goes away, Mohawk is there. If Mohawk and REMS both service Rotterdam, that competition amongst the two is probably a good thing. But I do know that in the contract for Mohawk, part of their agreement was that they agreed to bill for ALS money and provide that money to the town. They agreed in their contract, their bid proposal. And so now we have nothing from REMS as far as matching that proposal from Mohawk, and now we need to establish another contract, and this is just, dragging our heels and needs to be addressed, right away. I mean, this is very high priority as far as a revenue issue for the town being concerned. This is just, wrong to allow this to continue in my estimation.
Okay, the first part is, in 2009, they collected ALS money. In 2010, they could not. It was against the law. In 2011, they cannot, without a contract. So there was no ALS money collected in 2010 or 2011. It was collected in 2009 when they can take it. It wasn't legal to take it, but the administration, according to them, said if you're having a hard time, use that money to survive. And so the only money that we can go back after is 209. We cannot go beyond that, or back to 208 or 7 or anywhere else. That's all that we can go after. And the only way to find out if there is more money than that is do an audit.
Well,
And
yeah.
see how much they got. They claim, now I'm only going by the claims, and I just can't call anybody a liar, but some people do not pay ALS, some people do not pay anything. Some people are not covered, a small percentage by insurance, and the insurance only pays so much. And the biggest reason why REMS received the award is because, not that they would pay more than Mohawk to the town, but if you were injured, they were going to charge you less money than Mohawk was going to charge. So Mohawk was going to charge you more money to pick you up and then give the town some money out of that. I don't think that's fair. The bottom line is the taxpayer comes first.
And
That's why REMS got the bid. It was for no other reason. So, if you think they had X amount of calls with more money, and somebody wants to, this board wants to vote to have an audit and pay for it, I don't have a problem with it.
I think,
But meanwhile, what they owe and the contract are two different things. Like I said, I received the contract a little over a week ago, went through it. I believe I showed it to everybody. Did you get that? Did everybody get a copy of that contract? And I said, tell me what you like or don't like about it. I had no comment. I said Bob sent me a comment, but I misplaced it. And we sat together tonight and went all the way through it, what I don't like in the contract. Now we'll see if it's agreeable for the board, and we'll see if it's agreeable with REMS. And then once we come to a settlement, hopefully by next week we'll have a signature on there. But right now, all I could say is what they tell me. They give me a stack of papers that deep, and the calls they did, and the amount of money they owe us.
okay, so regardless of whether you can't collect money for 2010 or 2011, that is still lost revenue to the town. That's the bottom line.
That's right.
Correct.
Thank you. And the other issue and concern with this is that why do we have so many paramedics if they're only doing $39,000 a year worth of ALS services? I believe that the Rotterdam paramedics are much busier than that, more so than the tune of $39,000. So all I'm saying is that Mohawk is well aware of what REM's call volume is, and if they estimated that it should be around $100 or $100,000+ a year, and they have no reason to dispute that, because if they were awarded the contract, they would be surrendering that amount of money to the town, and that, in their mathematical computations, is a true and accurate estimate for what the town should be getting.